On page 37, you'll see your property information sheet. You've already seen it. It's on your Gold Club site. If you want to make copies, just take this one, copy them, and you will need to make copies. And you'll notice some stars on there, right? Okay, why would the stars be there? Because those are blanks that need to get filled in. You need this information. And the first one is the asking price. I can't imagine why I'd ever want to go any further when the seller won't give me the asking price until I get the asking price. We don't have any trouble getting the asking price. In fact, a lot of them are posted right on the internet. And then I want to know what they think it'll appraise for, just so I want to see where their head is. Now, the one where it says your comps, that's what you look up, but only when you think you got a reason to look it up. If a seller clearly states they will not take a monthly payment, what do you care what their house is worth? Be careful, because you thinker-brains are going to want to compile a dossier on this house before you even find out the seller wants to take a monthly payment. I'm not going on any website to look at this house until I find out that it's a yes, I would consider taking a monthly payment. I'm wasting my time. And really, you know what you're really doing? You're looking for a reason not to do what you need to do. And that's to get to a conclusion on this deal. You're looking for a way to stall from doing the stuff that you know has got to get done. And everything you do that's outside of the realm of calling the sellers and finding out they're going to take terms is pretty much a waste of your time. But it's pretty easy to get caught up in that minutia trap and feel good because you're actually doing something. The problem is that something you're doing is worthless. Not accomplishing a darn thing. In this case, I don't care. I'm not going to go to realestateabc.com and look up the value of this house until I find out the seller wants to take payments or not. Make sense? I have no need to know it. All right. You thinker-brains remember that now when you try to substitute proper action for action. All right? And loan amount. You think it's important to know the loan? Yes. It's critical. If I don't know the loan, I have no idea what to do next. It's either going to be free and clear or it's going to have a loan on it. Third of them are free and clear. I need to know what the loan amount is, and I need to know what the payment is, and whether it's current, and it almost always includes taxes and insurance, but not always. Our VAs will ask them, what do you owe? And sometimes they'll get, well, that's none of your business. And then they'll default to the script on page 41, try to get them to answer it. And sometimes they don't get the answer because they know the VA is not the principal, and they say, I'll tell the principal when they call. Now when you call, you're going to ask them, what do you owe? You're probably going to get an answer. I have no problem getting that answer. But if they won't tell you what they owe, what have you just learned? You're wasting your time. Somebody who won't even tell you what they owe is not somebody that you're going to buy a house from. It's not your fault. You pre-screen them out. You're done. Move on. Call the next one. And quit trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I have a shirt that says that too. I have to know what they owe because my whole deal is going to be structured around that. And I have to know what the payment is. And then we go down to A and B. A says, will you sell a house for what you owe? But please note right above that, it says, don't ask this question unless there's a less than a $35,000 gap between what they owe and what they're asking. Because if you ask that question in the wrong place, you just made a fool out of yourself and alienated you from the seller. If a seller has a house and he's asking $200,000 for it, but he only owes $100,000, and you ask him, will he sell for what he owes? How would you react? Stay off my phone, moron. Just got out of some seminar somewhere. On the other hand, if he wants $200,000 and he owes $182,000, you must ask him, will he sell for what he owes? Because 50% of the time he'll say yes. Why? He wants the debt relief. He don't care about that equity. He wants to get somebody else making those payments. He wants to get out of that house for whatever reason. So when you get a yes, you just got a free house. Your job is go get it. And there's nothing else to negotiate, really. You already know the payment. You already know what they owe. There's nothing else to negotiate except when they're going to get out of the house. So when you get a yes in column A, you just got a free house. And you won't get a ton of yeses, but you'll get some. So, what if they say, no, I won't sell for what I owe? In your head, you might be assuming they've got to have that whole $18,000 difference so they won't sell. That would be a mistake. The next question right below it, well, if I took over your debt, paid your closing costs, what is the least you could take for your equity? Be surprised how many times they'll come back, I need at least $2,000 to move. Okay, we can deal with that, can we?
Yes.
Can we?
Yeah.
We got a nice house, nice area, excellent condition, and I got $18,000 worth of equity in it. If I have to give him $2,000 to move, which I don't know that, this is what he asked me for, will I do it?
Yes.
How many of you say yes?
Yeah.
How many of you say no? How many of you aren't going to say anything ever? Absolutely, I'd give him $2,000 to move. Because when I put that thing on the market for $200,000, am I first going to raise the price a little? Yes. Am I going to get at least $15,000, $20,000 down? So how many of you exchange $2,000 for $20,000? 6 of you. And is that going to be a fast house to move around, turn around? Yes, it is. So as long as my chunk going in is way less than my chunk getting out, I'm okay with it. Simple chunk of theory. In other words, I'm examining my exit before my entrance, right? And you should never go in until you know how you're getting out. What if the seller wants $20,000 down?
No.
And you can't convince him otherwise? This is a dead deal. No way I'm going to give a seller 20 down when I know I'm going to work hard to get that out of my buyer. I am not going to be in a negative on the front end. All right, B. Our VAs ask, right there, basically, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we can pay you off in full? If the answer is no, okay, it's a no lead. If it's yes, it's a yes lead. Still doesn't mean anything until you call them and confirm that they understood what that means and tell you what the numbers are, which we're going to do in the scripts. So, yes lead, no lead, whatever. A lead is completed sheet. Yes or no, you're calling them all. Now, which one are you going to call first, of course?
Yes.
The yeses. But please do not put the no's aside and say, oh, they're all no, I'm not going to call them. Oh, you're going to call them. And you're going to be surprised how many of them you can turn around. Next section is stuff you want to know. You know, like, does it need repairs? That's kind of important, isn't it? And is it vacant or occupied? That's also important. And when you want to move, that's important. I want to see ASAP. Means I'd love to see vacant. Means I can get instant access and I can turn it around quicker and I don't have to wait for a seller to move. And I'd like to see needs no repairs. And most of the houses you buy will need no repairs. Most of them will be current on their payments. You're not buying people in foreclosure, contrary to what you might be thinking. I'm not looking for people ready to blow their brains out. I'm looking for people who just need to sell their house. Most of them have great credit. Most of them are current. So they're not desperate, but they are ready to sell. I want to know if it's listed, because if it's listed, you got to put the brakes on. You can't go and buy a house that's listed without expecting repercussions from the realtor. One of three things have got to happen. One, you've got to see if the seller can get the realtor to release the listing. Do they have to? Absolutely not. But many times they will. If the listing is released, it's a go. If it's not, it's not a go. Or you can wait out the listing and then come back when it's over. And there's no recourse. Because the realtor did not procure you. The seller called you, or you contacted the seller. R3, you can pay the commission. Probably negotiate it. If it's a good enough deal, you might just choose to pay a commission. One of those three things must happen. So what happens if you go out and buy a house from a seller that is listed? What do you think the brokerage is going to do? They're going to sue you for commission. They're going to sue the seller for commission, and they're going to win. They're going to win. So all they got to do is prove you know it was listed. There's a sign in the front yard. Kind of hard to prove that you didn't know it was listed. Don't you think? So, how do you think I learned that anyway? It's called tortious interference with a contract. The realtor was there first. You can't just ignore their listing. All right. The little square over there says down monthly term. Ignore that for now. That's what you're going to fill out while you're on the phone doing the closing call. Bedrooms and baths, square footage. I certainly want to know that. I want to know what I'm dealing with. And down below, at the bottom it says, is it a house or is it a condo? Well, if it's a condo or a townhouse, it's probably got association dues on it. Wouldn't you like to know what they are? Yeah. Now, and then what's the fee? Now beware, for some reason our VAs check month. And I don't know why, but you can't believe that. If you got a fee that says like it's about, $1,500, and they check monthly, it is wrong. It's probably $1,500 a year. That's just one of those things you confirm when you're on the phone with the seller. Now listen to me. Don't hire RVAs and expect them to change one thing on this form. They're not going to do it because I won't let them. We're not going to insert questions just for you. Because A, you don't need any. Anything that's not on this form that you need to know, shouldn't you ask the seller when you call them? Don't try to make our system change. You simply find out what you need when you call them. Whatever blanks are not filled in, you ask them. That's all you do. And use this sheet. Nobody else's sheet. Use this sheet. This is one our VAs are going to use. And it's pretty easy for you to follow it. All right? Okay, down here it tells you the garage, what's it made out of, you have a basement, and all that. Okay, that's all secondary information, but it's nice to have it. So, next page.